Well, I think it was a really interesting experience, and I learned a lot from it. We interviewed a variety of different candidates, from teachers to lawyers to social workers. And what made it really interesting was being able to work with the Kiwanis Spring kids.
I think it was very interesting to interview people from other communities, because you get to learn a lot about what they've done and their experiences of living their life.
Oh, it was actually interesting because when we were doing the paper thing, when we would draw about the immigrants, I learned that some people, like, not all, like, some people come to America different ways.
It was fun knowing the their childhood and like where they came from.
It was fun and boring,
Okay.
but mostly 50% of boring and 50% of fun.
It was great. It was fun to know about other people instead of just having to hear friends' stories over and over again. It's nice to hear other people's stories and see how their life was back then.
What I didn't expect was that from the lawyer, I thought he just had like a good life, but then he said that he had a rough life because like his family was Spanish, like was Mexican, so his family couldn't help him with his homework, and when every time his parents would see him doing his homework, his parents would say, keep going, keep going.
Like the lawyer we interviewed, he went from a ghetto town to a lawyer, and that surprised me a lot because he tried really hard to get up there.
The lawyer, how he was Mexican, and other people, like, they just didn't believe he was a lawyer, and how he needed to show his ID and his lawyer ID, because it just shows that other people are, like, they just stereotype. And it shows how you can be someone big in life even if you come from some ghetto street.
When I was kind of moving up through the ladder, my parents, I thought about how hard they worked and where they came from and how they never had an opportunity to go to school. And my dad only went to second grade in Mexico, and my mom never went to school. And every time that they were working really hard and they saw me at the dinner table doing my math that they did not understand, they would just say, just keep on working hard, just keep on working hard. And when they would say that at that time, I thought, I wish you could help me. But after a while, I thought, I have to be successful, because otherwise everything that they did is washed away. And so I always thought the only way that I can thank them for all the sacrifices that they made is if I make it somewhere, do my best and try to do something with my life so that they can say, oh, my son, he's a lawyer now.
How do you think Adriana's story of how she came to this country relates to maybe your family or friends? Can you talk about that, or how you're able to make that kind of connection?
Like, she did the same thing like what my dad did. He lived in a ranch and everything.
This is pretty familiar to you?
Mm-hmm. And my grandma, and my uncle, and my grandpa, and my other aunt, and my uncle. The list goes on.
I do remember that she crossed the border and she wishes that she could go run in the streets of her pueblo where she lived. And my mom always says that to me every day. She's like, I wish I could just go back to Mexico where I lived. But she came here just to give me and my sisters a better life.
What you hear in the media and all these things about immigration and stuff, and these kinds of people that are coming here and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, she kind of just didn't apply any of those, stereotypes. She was like a really awesome person.
What surprised me is that she came in a car like a passenger without hiding and stuff. And what I learned about her, she wishes she goes back and see the rest of her family because she really misses them.
La diferencia de allá y aquí es que tienes más oportunidades en este país. Y un consejo que alguien me dio, que este país te da para todo. Y si uno escoge el mal camino, te vas por el mal camino. Pero si tú te vas por el buen camino, llegas a ser alguien grande en este mundo y en este país. No, gracias a Dios, yo llegué a la ciudad de Tijuana un sábado a las 6 de la tarde, que viene siendo como un 4 de enero. El 5 de enero, que fue un domingo, pasé la línea. A las 10 de la noche ya estaba en Los Ángeles con mi hermana. Bueno, mi tía.
¿Entonces demoró un día?
Sí, 24 horas para llegar a este país y absolutamente todo bien. Como si yo hubiera sido una residente más de este país. Pues yo pienso que en mi pensar todos somos americanos, porque Estados Unidos, muchas partes de Estados Unidos fueron antes de México. Lo único que nos diferencia a todos son los documentos. Ay, lo positivo que este país me dio, conocer un hombre maravilloso que es mi esposo, trabajador, hogareño, y 2 hijos hermosos, que por nada del mundo cambiaría. Y lo negativo, que dejé mi pueblo. A veces me da añoranza regresar, correr por esas calles, el rancho, y ver a una prima que yo quiero mucho. Atrás dejas muchas cosas para dar un futuro mejor de este país.
Like you kind of learn some stuff like from the judge. She said that you can't nod your head when you're like to show that you're paying attention, because then sometimes they think you're agreeing with them. And she said you had to put on your poker face.
Yeah. What do you think that poker face meant?
That you had to be serious.
What's really hard about being a judge is that you can't show emotion. You have to have a poker face. And you can't even move your head upside down like this. Because someone once told me that they were watching me and they said, "You look like you're agreeing with the person." And I thought, I had no idea. I thought I was going like, yes, yes, get on with it, yes, move along. In myself, I'm thinking that. So you have to be very careful. You can't roll your eyes, or you have to just be perfectly still. And that's very hard to do. Like right now, you're going like this because that's normal.
Seeing them get really excited about interviewing their teacher, Miss Annie, that was really cool. They can really relate to her, and so they were really listening to her answers and what she had to say.
Advice is hard to give to me. I try to listen more than anything, and then I try to encourage the positive things that they do. So instead of me advising to do things, I try to just continue to encourage what they're already doing and give a sense of empowerment, because when they feel as though they're the ones doing it and that they can complete whatever task they need to be doing, and I didn't give them that idea, then I feel as though they're more successful, at least the youth I do work with. So instead of me telling them you need to do or you should be doing, I try to find out what they want to be doing and then encourage that in a positive way.
The food is definitely things that I cannot eat in this country. Want to know why? Yeah. Peanut butter. Oh! I make sandwiches for my children, but I'm like, it's awful. That really makes me throw up. It's awful. You know, things like that, it's bad. But it's the same if you came to France tomorrow and I would give you, I don't know what you... Snails. Voila. Yeah. If I gave you snails, you'd think like, oh, what the heck, you know. And honestly, snails, I'm honest with you, they have absolutely no taste. It's a butter and garlic sauce that makes the flavor. That's what's good about it. The rest is... No. So food, yes, of course, there's a couple of things like this that you need to adjust to, like the Jello. Oh my goodness. You know, the Jello. I don't like that too much. But I love other things that I've experimented, like pumpkin pie. Oh, that's so good. I love pumpkin pie. And Thanksgiving dinner. Have you had a Thanksgiving dinner? Oh, I love that. You know, with the turkey and the gravy and all sorts of good stuff that we don't have like this in France, you know. So I like that. I like experimenting with food.
La razón fue porque, pues como mi esposo se venía, pues en nuestros planes era pues venir y trabajar. Como yo ya tenía 2 hijos, pues para darles una mejor oportunidad a ellos. Esa fue mi razón por la cual me vine para acá.
¿Cuál fue el plan originalmente?
Les mando dinero desde aquí. Porque cuando vine ellos estaban chiquitos y ahora de grandes no se quieren venir. Mucho ha cambiado porque pues mi plan y hasta hoy sigue siendo, como les digo, mis hijos. Quiero que sean alguien que no dependan de la gente. Porque yo quiero el bienestar de ellos, ¿no? Que no anden en la calle, que trabajen. Pues más que nada ellos son mi motor de todos los días, porque sé que ellos me están correspondiendo.
Lessons as a social worker, you think?
Through your career or your experiences in your life or in social justice.
Relationships are really important, and being honest and honest with ourselves and honest with each other is really important. I believe that is where everything starts, and so in terms of sort of, I guess that's the lesson I'd like to pass on, or a little kernel of something I'd like to share, is that each day I feel like it's important to do my best to be very honest and really listen to the person who I'm talking to and make sure that we understand each other, and that's really at a basic level.
If you could interview anybody you want in the whole world, who would you interview?
I would probably interview someone that came illegally, that didn't really have much to do, and that was from a different state, and that really became someone here.
Can you describe for us what it was like working with students at Kuana and what you learned from them? Or
I love the kids. I made some friends. At first we both were, me and the kids were a little unwilling, not really know what's happening, what we have to do, but I really like getting to know them and just having little kids look up to you because they're so impressionable, you know.
In the beginning, they were quite shy and they would like to stick in their groups. They didn't like to split up to each of us. And we kind of forced that issue, paired each of us with 1 or 2 of the students. But after a day or 2 of that and the awkwardness, getting to know someone new, they became much, much more open. And so to see that
the transition from just the first day even to the second day was really interesting as they began to learn our names specifically and got more comfortable with us. The flip on that was really interesting because often when you interact with someone else just for a day or a single interaction in a grocery store or in public, you only get that first little piece of the awkwardness or the separation, but just one more day and it becomes much more natural and flowing.
I love just observing like the way that they interacted with each other and like what they had to say like when we were learning how to interview, because they all are so smart and incredibly, sweet kids.
Could you tell us what it was like working with the students from a different school?
Fun.
My name is Jose Santana. My name is Cindy Cazares.
My name is Sasha Rogeramer.
My name is Malia Cedar. My name is Bridget Zahra.
I'm Javier Lema.
My name is Jacqueline Perez.
My name is Tevin Strand Brown.
And my name is Jesus Sanchez.
I'm Victor Casañas.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Ramirez.
Hey, I'm Kiara Catelli.
I'm Jose Pacheco.